swap it out. Swap it out. If it's still in the rap, we'll swap it out. We ain't tripping, we'll swap it out. Swap it out. If it's still in the rap, we'll swap it out. We ain't tripping, we'll swap it out. Swap it out. If it's still in the rap, we'll swap it out. We ain't tripping, we'll swap it out. Swap it out. If it's still in the rap, we'll swap it out. We ain't tripping, we'll swap it out. Swap it out. If it's still in the rap, we'll swap it out. We ain't tripping, we'll swap it out. Swap it out. If it's still in the rap, we'll swap it out. We ain't tripping, we'll swap it out. Swap it out. If it's still in the rap, we'll swap it out. We ain't tripping, we'll swap it out. Swap it out. If it's still in the rap, we'll swap it out. We ain't tripping, we'll swap it out. Swap it out. If it's still in the rap, we'll swap it out.
Don't relax and take notes. Niggas need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take notes. Niggas need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take notes.
What up? Happy Thursday, happy Hotep Thursday. Welcome to the Hotep's Been Told You After Party with me, Cannon Hotep, and Jay Pylon. I appreciate you guys rolling with us. Give yourselves a round of applause because you could be anywhere right now, but you're hanging out with us, and we really appreciate that. What's going on, Jay? How you feeling today, yo?
Feeling good, man. Good to see you, Cannon. How you living?
Good to see you too, man. Good to see you too. Everything going good. Can't complain. I mean, so, bro, let's just get into it. Actually, first, hey, yo, did you see this movie? You see the movie Trolls? Or Troll?
No, I still have not seen the Troll movie.
Yo,
You know, when I know you texted me about that, and I was thinking of the 1980s film Troll that came out. I don't know if you remember that. That was back when they had that other movie about the leprechaun and stuff like that. So I was thinking it was going to be something along the same lines. Is that what it is, or is something new?
Nah, this is something completely different. It's like King Kong of like Norway or some shit like that. Like it goes into the mythology of like the troll.
A foreign film.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. It's a foreign film.
They got it dubbed, or you have to read the subtitles?
No. You can read the subtitles, or you can watch it dubbed. It was real interesting, yo. It was a real interesting movie. Right. I thought it was pretty. I liked it. But yeah, I want to do a Hotep movie review on that soon. Also, I've been watching the Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, yo, that shit good, yo. I ain't gonna lie, yo. That shit got me. It's only 4 episodes. I don't know when the 5th episode coming out, but the show good as shit. Hey, yo,
right.
One's in the chat if you've been watching Tulsa King. One's in the chat if y'all watch Tulsa King, yo. This shit is all right. I don't know if it's written by Sylvester Stallone or not, but this shit good.
Right. Now, I'm out in Oklahoma and haven't watched it just yet, but I've never been up there to Tulsa. But your wife has been up there to Tulsa. Did she say that it looks like it's on point with Tulsa, or is it kind of off?
Well, she was like in the downtown area, so she didn't really stray from like a couple mile radius. So she stayed close to the church that she was going to the retreat at and all that other stuff. So like she didn't really have any like, she didn't really explore Tulsa like that. So she didn't really get a good idea of it. You know what I mean? But the show dope. The show dope. I can't wait for episode 5.
Star Sylvester Stallone, old Rambo, Rocky.
Yeah, yo. I hope I look like that when I'm 75.
With the human growth hormones and
God damn it, he been taking that shit since he was like 30. And that motherfucker look like that at 75. I'm taking all the tests when I turn like 50. I'm taking all the tests if that's what he looked like at fucking 75 years old. God
therapy
damn it.
replacement therapy or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Hormone replacement therapy, growth hormones, and TRT.
Mm-hmm. All that good shit that was given Brittney Griner before she got thrown in the Who Scout.
Replacing hormones with hormones. Who said that?
Yeah, Manuel said that shit earlier.
Emmanuel.
So check it, right? Speaking of Brittney Griner, let's just get into it. So Brittney Griner was released.
Yes, she was.
She was released by Russia. They did a 1-for-1 swap with her and Victor Boot, right? And for people that don't know, it's just jumping on. Victor Boot is who they call the Merchant of Death. They actually made a movie based on him called The Lord of War with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, good movie with Nick Cage in it. I was about to say that movie pretty much sums up his life story, I guess. He was doing a lot of supplying to Africa, AK-47s.
Bro, yeah, he wasn't, like I said earlier, he wasn't just selling Glocks with switches and fucking polymer 80s. He was selling some real shit, surface-to-air missiles and tanks, fucking rocket launchers and all that. He was selling some real military Sunny Surplus shit. Sunny Surplus.
He had the Cannon Hotep connection.
Bruh, I need his connection. I need him to get me a couple things, goddammit. But they swapped her out for him. But bro, like, everybody was so happy, you know, on the left, and you know, everybody, you know, oh, this is a win for the black community. Like, okay, whatever. Okay, we'll, if that's what you think. And then you had the people on the right. You know, some people on the right could you know, separate their bias and go, you know what, that's cool that she's home. You know, it was unfair for her to go to jail over some weed, even though the shit is fucking illegal in the country she was in, right? Right.
Yeah, the problem with the right where they were dealing with a lot of whataboutism and absolutism at the same time combined. So they weren't getting they're not understanding the whole picture when they were doing that. They were hitting us with what about this, that, and the third. And that was such a move that we often see with the left. We always see that with the left, in fact.
Yeah, you
got your guys like Bishop Talbot Swan and most of your Twitter crowd that'll say, well, what about this? If it was a black person, they would have been killed on sight. You know, you got those talking points, and I felt like the right was just right there with them this time around. They were on the wrong page with this one. They couldn't have started off with "Welcome Home."
Right.
Welcome home, welcome back.
That's it. I was waiting for all of the footage of her coming, you know, on the plane and meeting up with her wife. You know how they do. They start talking like they fucking golf announcers and shit. Start whispering. This is such a somber moment. As the tears of joy flow down her face, as she squeezed her wife's ass for the first time in 9 months. Like, you know how they talk. You know, this has got to be a very, very overwhelming moment for the Griner family. You know how they do, and then they this shit. Like, I was waiting for all of that shit to happen. God damn it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm happy she's home. But the thing about it is like, you left a Marine there. You left what's his name? Whalen. I forgot his first name. Right. That's how fucked up it is. They ain't heard nothing about that man. He ain't made no news cycle. But he been over there. He's been charged with like some espionage crimes. You know what I mean?
They said he got him on what, oil, hashish oil or something like that in his bag.
Oh, they got him for that shit too?
Yeah, I mean, that's what the original charge was before they said, well, you know, he's a spy. He's a Canadian-born citizen, and he has U.S., Irish, and some other couple countries worth of citizenships, and speaks different languages. was in the Marines. I mean, he probably do.
That shit sound like
probably
some.
is a
That
Jason
shit
Bourne
sound
dude,
like
right?
yeah. That shit sound like some Treadstone shit to me. God
Right, but-
damn. How many aliases and passports that man got?
If I was Putin, he's getting locked up on my watch too.
Yeah, yeah. Oh wait, what?
Hey, go
How many-
snag this dude up.
Hold on, how many
He's not
passports
slick.
he got? He had a safe house here. Like, hold up. You know what I mean? But they, they're they stand with he's
But like
not.
James Bond does.
Yeah.
James Bond comes through and says, "I'm James Stalinod," and you be like, "Yeah, right, that's James Bond." Cut playing. He does the same thing in every one of his movies. He has an alias and multiple passports.
Bro, but the thing about it is though, is that, all jokes aside, he been over there for 4 years, right?
Yeah, bring him home.
And the United States maintained that he's innocent and that he's nobody's, spy,
Yeah.
shocker, but, you couldn't, like this, the guy you gave up for Brittney Griner, that guy, like, he's worth at least 3 Pokemon cards, right? Right?
The Charizard.
Yeah, he's your holographic.
Pikachu.
He's your fucking holographic Charizard, right? Like
Right.
you couldn't get 3 cards. You couldn't get her and him home. That don't make sense to me, right? And then the timing is fucking perfect, bro. Right? Let's get off. Like
right before the launch of the next presidential
yeah,
jump off.
right before Christmas, right? They was in the room like fuck. What, how are we polling with the black community? Oh, we're in the fucking tank.
That's exactly right.
We're in the fucking
Because
tank.
you see it on Twitter too.
Yeah.
When we were every day on Twitter, how many times do we turn on Twitter and see people and they get the microphone in their hand and they say, "What do you think about Biden?" Oh man, he trash. Prices out control, crime going crazy, he garbage.
Yep.
I want him out of here. What do you think
All
about
day.
Kamala? Man, she doesn't know what she's doing.
Right.
Come on.
Right. Heard she could suck a good dick though.
Montel, what's it? Montel,
Montel Williams, right?
right.
Yeah.
Right.
But like the thing about it is that their approval ratings are in the tank. They on their way out. Their re-election is like null and void. It's not happening. I think honestly, it's not happening even with this Brittney Griner shit, right? Her coming home.
So we had remember it was supposed to be a red wave, but it wasn't a blue wave either. Look how congested this whole thing was.
Oh yeah, because people just tired of it, right? People just
Right.
tired of it. They like, yo, fuck this. But like, I guess they like, all right, look, should we bring her home on Thanksgiving? They like, nah, nobody give a fuck about Thanksgiving. They ain't got no real Thanksgiving movies, right? They like, you know what? Let's bring her home a couple weeks before Christmas. You know what I mean? Right, we're getting into our new presidential election cycle, right? Let's bring her home a couple of weeks before Christmas and get us those black sympathy points, right? And sure enough, it was like he made that call to the man from Moscow. They fuck around, not even ask for whaling either. They fucked around and just was like, nah, we'll save him for another. We'll keep him in our back pocket for right now, right? Because their base ain't, white folks, right?
Right.
Their base ain't the middle America. That's not their base. That they're trying to get, all the LGBT. Like she's the trifecta, son. She's black. She's a woman, I think, and she's LGBTQAARP elemental Z. Right?
Yeah. Right.
She hit all the goddamn marks. So you just brought a black gay woman home to her wife, right? And
At Christmas time.
At Christmas time, goddamn Christmas miracle over here, miracle on fucking 34th Street.
Right. Well, did you see that the news is saying that they're thinking about taking up donations for her or something like that? Because they said they want to get her some money or something like that. I saw earlier today. I was looking at that.
No, I didn't even see. Hold up. My man Cassius Cam with the $5 super chat. I appreciate you.
Salute the Cassius.
He says Putin is Billy Madison. He really got a snack pack for the rest of his banana. Art Dog says intersectionality. Bruh. Exactly. But the thing about it is that I'm happy she's home, right?
Right.
Now, it's not lost to me, and it never been lost to me. Every time we did something about her, it's like, yo, no, she broke the law. Like, your American privilege does not extend outside of the American borders. When you go to other countries, you have to abide by those countries' laws. when you packing your shit and you going to a country like Russia, where you know shit like fucking relations is shaky, right? You better fucking straighten up and fly right. You better check your bag. I don't care if your wife fucking packed it herself. You better check behind that bitch. She fucking around trying to set you up.
Be on your P's and Q's.
Be on your P's and Q's. Kayak Dog says, book deal, Netflix deal coming soon. Oh, you already know. They probably already got it in the can.
Be a tour.
They probably already got it in the can. The movie's probably already made. All right, who would play Brittney Griner in the movie? Waka Flocka Flame. Who would play Brittney in the movie, yo? Who would play Brittney Griner in the movie? Hey, yo, put in the chat who would play Brittney Griner in the movie, yo. Oh yeah, you know the book deal's in the interview. She's gonna be on the interview tour for like the next few weeks.
She's gonna be on the Biden tour.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna be every time they campaign and stump somewhere, they're gonna have her standing right beside them. She might be bringing out more people than Obama was. Yeah,
Saw said she sparked up a 7-gram backwood. Yeah, you tripped. But oh yeah, you already know she's gonna be front and center first thing in the morning on the fucking presidential on the White House lawn, shaking her hand. Shaking her hand. You owe us. You owe us. You owe us.
This the favorite. You gotta pull some favorites now.
You owe us, right? You know what I mean? Like they said Jamie Foxx.
Oh my.
I think Jamie Foxx too short. That shit is fucking hilarious though.
He had those high heels on when he was in Living Color and those other ones.
Yeah, but he's still like 5'8", something like that. But the thing about it is that she about to get the bag. She about to get the bag. She about to get that victim bag. She about to get that POW bag, right? Meanwhile, an actual hero. I ain't even gonna call him a hero because I don't know how he got caught. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. But you got a United States Marine that's stuck over there, and is and may never fucking come home. He may never come home.
They're gonna bring him home because they're gonna need that extra vote to pull away from Donnie T. Because Donnie T is probably gonna be the eventual nominee.
You think so?
And they're gonna need that extra pull. So they got one half of the equation. They need the other. Because think about this: the right. This is gonna be the point they're gonna be sticking to for a minute.
Okay.
They're gonna be like, "What about Peter Whelan? What about Peter Whelan?" And you're gonna see that across all those different networks.
Paul Whelan. Paul Whelan.
Right. They could have that across every one of the networks. That's gonna be a talking point. You left him behind. Look how long Hannity stayed on that. You left them behind about the Afghanistan incident.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They're gonna do the same. They're gonna run the same gauntlet for a minute, and the last thing they're gonna pull out another one of these guys, another Vitor boot out of somewhere, and say, hey, we're getting him back home. We're getting our Marine back home, right before everything kicks off, at least, so they can get that extra points for the votes.
Yeah, that's true. Fuck, they going? Who's the next Victor Boot though?
No, they got him. They probably got one stored away somewhere, stashed away somewhere.
Yeah.
And think about all the political prisoners that we have in the United States, and none of them are home. And think about all the the drug charges and the non-offense drug charges. People are locked away 4, 6, 10, 20 years and still sitting in there in the tanks, looking crazy. And then it's just like, man, all I had was some weed. And then the other people that had pamphlets, the Black Panther pamphlets, and we're handing them out back in the 70s. They're locked up.
We're gonna give you Yakov Smirnov's coffin. Here you go, for fucking Paul Whelan. Like,
yeah, they're gonna give somebody.
Like I said, yo, Victor Boot was a holographic Charizard, and they traded him for Jigglypuff. Right? Don't fucking get on me because I know a little bit about Pokemon. Goddammit. Like that shit came out when
Pokemon analogy.
That shit came out when I was like 8 or whenever the fuck Pokemon came out. I don't know how old I was, but goddamn it, I'm just saying. You gave up an autographed Jordan rookie card. You gave up an autographed Jordan rookie card for fucking I don't know. Yeah, Zion Williams or some shit. bro. Jeez, for Brittney Griner, you gave an autographed fucking Jordan card for Brittney Griner. Goddamn it. You know what I mean? I'm just happy she's home, but at the same time, like, I think they could have made both deals happen. I think they didn't want to. I think that it would have took away from the the value of just bringing her home. You know what I mean?
And now you're gonna have the right stuck on the Marine topic.
Yeah, it took away from the dramatic effect of just bringing her home, right?
Right.
Then,
by design.
By design.
Because this is right next to Christmas.
Then they try to say, oh well, his case was a little bit different. Like, get the fuck out of here. You gave up. You gave up. Probably maybe Interpol's #1 most wanted all time, back when he was fucking out there. For what? For what? That makes America look weak as fuck. It kind of make the man from Moscow look a little humane. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay. What'll give you tall dyke bitch? And we'll take somebody we don't give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about Victor Boot. He fucked around and got a bullet in his head the minute he got back. We fuck around, don't hear nothing about Victor Boot no more. Who knows? Unless he just connected like that. Who knows? I don't know. And Mayor President, everyone under 40 knows about Pokemon. Don't front. Bro, but yeah, that's another good point, Emmanuel. You know what I mean? Like, you did some fucking you did some shit. You gave up the merchant of death for Brittney Griner. Meanwhile, you got all these people in jail right now for non-offense drug crimes. You got all these people in jail right now for non-offense drug crimes here in America.
Right. You
might as well go over here, open the fucking gates right now. You might as well go open the fucking gates right now. Here you go. Let everybody out. That motherfuckers in jail like, what the fuck? Fuck that shit. I know niggas is in jail flipping shit off. I'm shocked there wasn't no riots at no jails right now, no prisons. Right? Like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. You got people here now at home who in jail right now on a third strike from his crime bill. They might have been sitting on the steps smoking weed, they backing up a whole lot of time. Meanwhile, you pull this political stunt. Because make no mistake, this is what this was. This was a political stunt. Look at the timing. Look at this. Look at the demographics. Look at all of that shit. This shit was a political stunt for a political prisoner. You know what I mean? Ricky Man, what's up, my man? Ricky Man in the building. What's going on, bro? He said we got Negroes in jail in America. Fuck the ones in Russia. I hear that shit, bro. But I'm just saying, y'all, Canada about to get canceled from this. But I'm just saying, but that's right, though. It's like, come on, y'all. How many people, uncles and fathers and stuff like that, like, you know what I mean, they in jail right now for some non-offense drug shit. You said, right. Fuck all them. Let's go get this big, tall bitch out of jail.
It's got to be in the thousands. It's got to be in the thousands.
Got to be in the thousands, man. Everybody, he wrote the crime bill that locked everybody up. Motherfucker over there like this, like Stevie Wonder and shit. Look, just looking. Come on, guys. It was a political stunt. That shit was a calculated move, and well played, Joe Nickel Slick. But niggas see you. We know what you did. Let's get the gay, tall, black, LGBTQ woman out of jail so we can get some points with that community, with those communities. Right? And then I'm shocked that, because everybody gonna start, like, some people gonna be tripping over Paul Whelan, and I wouldn't be surprised if the mainstream media starts saying, well, when Paul Whelan was 25, he was involved in this shit. You know how they did, what's the dude, Gallagher, the other guy that was in jail, wrongfully arrested in jail, that they finally exonerated and let out. You know what I mean? Shit is crazy. Ricky says, how many men in America are in jail for child support because they can't afford their obligations? Money would help them. Where's the help for them? That's true. Yo, I don't care what nobody say. Child support. The child support system is geared towards the woman, right? Now there's some dudes out there who need to, like, they can take care of their responsibilities and choose not to, right? There's some shitty fathers out there. Period. Full stop. But I know a lot of good dudes that got fucked by the child support system, bro. One of my best friend's son got twins, yo, and he had a baby by a crazy bitch. She fucking crazy, bro. And I feel bad because I may or may not have something to do with them getting together. I ain't telling him to fuck her. All right, we just went to the club. And I'm like, yo, she eyeing you. She cute. Go holler at her. I ain't telling her to knock her up like a few months later. But regardless, he got 2 twin boys, yo, and she ain't want him to have nothing to do with them. But she be working, and he had them kids like 90% of the time, footing the bill for everything. She took him to child support because he didn't want to be with her. Like, he was like, so she kept trying to want to be, you know, like, let's make this work. And he like, nah, I don't, no, you crazy. All right, like right before my wedding, yo, like you know how you do your dress rehearsals?
Yeah.
This motherfucker come in with stitches like across the bridge of his nose and like a black fucking eye. I'm like, what the fuck happened to you? Man, baby mother kicked me through the fucking window of my car. I'm like, God damn. She put the Timberland boot to his face, bro. I'm like, nigga, you better get some concealer or something, bro. The wedding tomorrow. My cousin turns to him and goes, hey, don't worry about it. More men are going to the House of Ruth than women these days. But the thing about it is that, yeah, we got guys like that. But, you know, look, make no mistake, people. Make no mistake, right? I'm not down to Brittney Griner. I'm not down in her. You know what I mean? She fucked up. She knows she fucked up. She fucked around and found out. She found out the hard way that her American privilege does not extend outside of America. Not even being, I guess for lack of a better term, a local celebrity in Russia. She made $1 million a year playing basketball for some oligarch, bro.
Man.
You know what I mean? That shit didn't matter. Right? She found out the hard way. She got home because I don't care what nobody says. She got home because of her, you know, she's gay, she's a woman, and she's black.
Okay.
And she plays basketball for the WNBA. You feel
certain
me?
Demographic.
Right. Like, if she was fucking Rebecca Lobo, her ass still be over that bitch. You know what I mean? I think that a deal could have been struck for both people. Right? And like I said, she was a cautionary tale. You know what I mean? She was a cautionary tale, whether she came home or not. Don't think that when you leave these American borders that you got the same fucking the American laws apply to you anywhere else, because they don't. Like I said, go chew some gum in Singapore and don't see if you don't get your ass whooped in Singapore for having gum in your mouth. I brought up Otto Warmbier. He allegedly took down a fucking poster in some station in North Korea. They locked his ass up, and when America finally got him back, he was in a fucking body bag, and that was only a few weeks. Right? It was fucked up what they did to him. Right? You know, you have a lot of that shit. You know, you have you got a lot of that. You know, you gotta conduct yourself according to where you are in the world. Period. Full stop. You know what I mean? You gotta conduct yourself accordingly according to where you are in the world. Period. Right? Women, if you in fucking, I don't know, Afghanistan, cover your face. Don't be walking around that bitch with fucking with Lululemons on. You know what I mean? And a sports bra. You might not come home. You know what I mean? You know, it's just like, if you're gay, don't go to Afghanistan. Don't go, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just certain things you just can't do. You know the laws of the land wherever you're going. That shit, that still go for here in America too.
Yeah.
Know the laws of the land.
Let me take my tail to the back alleys of Detroit and see how I fare.
Right. I know that if I go to New York, my gun better stay the fuck home. Or this is the last time you'll hear about Cannon Hotep. You know what I mean?
Up.
I'll be locked
at the airport, right? from the airport, you'd get.
Period. If I drove to fucking New York, and
okay.
they got me, I'd be gone. Airport, I would leave my shit. I'll leave my shit on the fucking plane. I wouldn't take it from the airport. But yeah, you got to know the laws of the land, no matter where you are. You know, but you know what? Good on her. She got home. She's home with her family. I hope that she learned a fucking lesson. You know, I'm pretty sure, you know, she's going to praise old Joe Nicholslick. You're going to have the media talking about this shit like a president, you know, a certain former president hadn't done this shit quite a few times.
Right.
Let's not forget ASAP Rocky.
Right.
Let's not forget LeVar Ball's son and his two dumbass friends from college.
Right.
Right. Let's not forget, what's her name? Alice, I forgot her last name. The lady that he let out of jail, who was in jail for like 20 years on some bullshit. Alice Marie Johnson, I think it was.
Right. Oh yeah, that was a big one too.
Or the countless people that he let out of jail with the First Step Act. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, guys. Like, but you're gonna hear the news. They're gonna be praising Joe Biden. They're gonna be saying, "Oh my God, he's the greatest president of all time," or some bullshit. Meanwhile, I just paid $250 to fill my truck up today. I'm pretty sure by Monday I'm going to do it again. Another $250. I went to the market, bro. I didn't get nothing. I got some eggnog. Yo, I don't care what nobody says. I love eggnog on the holidays. I got some eggnog, some juice for the kids. You know what I mean? What else I get? I got some burgers and some hot dogs for my son. Want to have a little cookout outside.
That's what's up.
$78, bro.
Oh man.
$78 for nothing. For nothing. I'm like, yo, like, they think that something like this is a win. It's gonna distract people from what's really fucking going on. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, you know what? I can't hate though. I can't hate on Brittney Griner. She home. You know, I wouldn't wish being in a fucking Russian prison or penal colony on my worst enemy. I don't even. They about to have her ass fucking breaking fucking boulders with a fucking a watch hammer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Took her dreads off.
Yeah, I already knew that shit was gonna happen. They're gonna clean cut her ass. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure she like that she ain't gotta sleep on a slab of rock. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's see what happened.
I know they're gonna have a 60-minute special on her. The Netflix, the book deals. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a wild week. All ahead of time before Christmas. They probably even gonna do the Brittney Griner Christmas special. It's
gonna be a fucking Hallmark movie's gonna come out.
They're gonna come. you know how they used to have the Charlie Brown. They're gonna take Charlie Brown off and they're gonna put Brittney Griner on. She's gonna have a little Santa Claus suit. You know.
Bro, they gonna be like, we interrupt this the tradition of fucking A Christmas Story for the Brittney Griner story.
Man, she's gonna be in the next remake of the Scrooge classic, A Christmas Carol, starring Brittney Griner. It's gonna be ongoing. I mean, this is gonna be just like what we're seeing with Zelensky.
Yep. We got Handy Bob over on Rumble. What's going on, Handy Bob? He say he gave up the number one he gave up the number one private arms dealer in the world and pushing gun confiscation at home, bro.
There's levels to this. That's what it is. There's levels to this.
Yeah, exactly. Like the mental gymnastics of that shit. You coming after our guns. You coming after all our guns.
Mm-hmm.
You coming after everything. Everything I got on my fucking wall back here, you coming after all that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Because the elite are pro weaponization.
But you let a motherfucker selling rocket launchers and tanks go free. Right. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me?
Controlling the populace.
It was it's all this shit staged. All the world's a stage, people. All the world's a stage. This shit is crazy.
But we talked about this too. Remember when we talked about this topic and we got into this discussion and we said, well, they're probably going to do a terrible deal anyway. And I was saying that she'll probably be left. I know I said this. I know she'll probably be let out before the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably going to be a terrible deal.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to push through it anyway.
Yeah.
And here we are. Lo and behold, they did exactly that. A terrible deal.
Right.
You they could have gotten the guy, the Marina and Brittney out at the same time instead of just getting out one. But it's calculated because that's the next piece to their little chessboard game. That's the little hustle they're trying to pull.
Yep.
It's staged. It's rigged.
Yeah. We got people. We got what's her name? Jerk says fuck Griner. Damn. Tell them how you really feel. Tell them how you really feel.
I understand a lot of everyone could be upset at her because her dumb stuff that she does and says, and what she's gonna be pulling, right?
Yeah.
But she's an American, so welcome home, Brittney Griner. Whether it would be the same if anyone from the right got hemmed up over there. Like say Dan, Dan Bongino or whatever. If he was hammed up over there, I'd be like, man, let that man free. We want him back. And the left would be like, nah, keep him over there. It's pick and choose.
Yep. Yeah. That's the thing, but I can't even be mad at her because she's not the one that facilitated the deal. Her wife was advocating for her to come home. She fucked up and her ass was locked up. You know who you're supposed to be mad at, y'all? You know y'all supposed to be mad at? Joe Nicholslick. Nicholslick. The Biden administration made this deal. Donnie T wouldn't have made this deal. Matter of fact,
no, he wouldn't have.
If Donnie T was still in office, Brittney Griner probably would have never went to fucking trial. She'd have just been home.
Right.
Matter of fact, I don't think the fucking this conflict would even be happening right now. Nah. I'm just saying. This is an
event that wouldn't have happened. They would have held off on that. Mm-hmm. And even if it did and Griner got hemmed up, she'd have been home like within a few days.
Yeah.
Some behind the scenes calls would have been made and she'd have been out. And she would have been mad.
She'd have been begrudgingly having to thank
right.
Donnie T.
She wouldn't have thanked him though, because that's the thing. When a lot of them came back, did they thank him? Did they go on a thank you tour, or did they keep it low key and just keep it pushing and do a no comment?
The only person that really thanked Trump was like Kodak Black.
That was it, right?
Yeah.
Like where was Snoop? Because Donnie T went to bat for Snoop, and Snoop had him in the video shooting him and stuff like that, telling him F you and all this, that, and the third. Yet Donnie T went to bat for Snoop.
Yep, that's everybody. That's because the powers that be was cashing in that favor that everybody owed him. Anyway, so Kayak Dog says 90 billion arms left in Afghanistan. Facts. Billion shipped to the Ukraine. Facts. The man from Moscow gets arms deal release. He's laughing his ass off. Facts. Because all of those arms that were shipped to the Ukraine, somehow the man from Moscow and his team got their hands on them.
Right.
Not to mention all that shit that he left over in Afghanistan, fucking jets and all this other shit and helicopters and all that shit. You left an entire fucking armory over that bitch for them to just have.
So we can strengthen them back up, so we can get back over there and do a repeat, rinse and repeat, and get some more money out of the operation. Yeah. It's all a sham, folks, and it's all us taking L's. Yep. The winners are going to be the military-industrial complex time after time.
Facts. Jerk says can't justify Griner's dumb ass. You're right. You can't justify what she did. She fucked up. Her ass fucked up. She went to jail. But you can criticize the Biden administration on how they handled it. This shit was all a political stunt. Period. Full stop.
Right.
That's what it is. Right. They got her home simply because it was politically expedient for them.
Right.
To bring her home. Like I said, if she was Rebecca Lobo or some shit like that, her ass still be over that bitch. Right? She was Laura Loomer or something, her ass still be over that motherfucker.
Oh man. They might have requested more time for her. Shoot.
I was just saying.
There might have been like tack on 10 years to that sentence.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he said even Latino grocery stores are running low. Yo, so many places are running low right now. Yo, it's crazy. I went to
what you said?
He said even Latino grocery stores are running low. So many places, corner stores and like a lot of places are running low. I was in Walgreens, bro, getting a prescription filled, and it wasn't nothing in that mother. It wasn't nothing.
Look, it's by design. So remember when all those plants have been mysteriously setting themselves on fire, exploding and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Now look at all the videos that you come across on the Twitter feed and on YouTube of places being looted and places being ransacked, right?
Yeah.
And everyone yelling, defund the police.
Yep.
So what do you think they're going to do with all of this?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to start implanting the chips in
Yep.
people's hands.
Yep.
They're going to start telling people, they've already got this set up in most places. You go to Target, you go to Walmart, you see more and more and more of those stop here to pick up your food. Pretty soon, those places are just going to be warehouses, and you're not going to get inside of them anymore. They're not going to let you in the door. There's not going to be cashiers. There's not going to be greeters. You're going to pull out your app, put it all through on your app, go up to the store and pick up your food. You're not going inside that building anymore. Not after this. It's going to come. They're going to shut this down. And Walmart said they lost $4 billion this year. Walmart. Target lost 860 million in one of the quarters? 860 million in theft.
Damn. Yeah. Yep.
The theft is out of control, and they can't stop it, right? But it's by design. This is what they're waiting for. Social credit. They want to track your purchases. They want you buying only through the places that are exclusive for the elite. Mm-hmm. Amazon, Walmart, Target. That's it. Mom and pop stores will be gone. Mm-hmm. That was what the test run of the whole Yamin was. Yep. It was the test run. Yeah. It was get us conditioned to not getting inside those stores anymore.
Yeah.
And this continual call for what are we supposed to do? You saw the Apple store? Those two guys running through the Apple store snatching up every single phone?
Yeah.
You think those big businesses could hire security? No. Like the Philly gas station?
Right.
No. That's not the game plan. The game plan is to shut all these things down, have them as a warehouse, and have none of us going inside of them anymore so that they can control what we get and what we don't get from here on out.
Yeah. Yep. That's the funny part, right? So I was getting ready to bring that up. Remember, like, it was on everybody's radar back in, like, 2014, 2015. All those Walmarts that were shutting down. And, like, nothing was ever taking its place or anything like that.
Nothing.
And, they were showing, like, the, what's it called? The, barbed wire. So like usually when you're trying to keep shit in, the little thing faces toward the side, toward the way where you want to keep the shit in. So all that shit was facing inside like the courtyard part of like the Walmart and stuff like that. And people was like, oh my God, it's going to be camps and all this other stuff, right? Then fast forward, we see what's going on over there in China. You know what I mean? And all these other countries that, with the lockdowns and shit like that. It makes me think like, are we getting close to that shit too right now?
We are. Yes, we are. Yes, because look at the malls. We got a mall, and half of it right now, with all the stores empty of it. You know who occupies half of our mall right now?
Who's that?
Here in my city? The military.
Is that
the military occupies half of the mall at our.
Damn.
We had a huge mom and pop store. Mm-hmm. It was called Gibson's. It shut down. You know who's in there right now?
Who's that? The military.
One of those military industrial complex agencies. One of them Northrop Grumthams or one of those them things.
Oh, Northrop.
You can't even get in there. It's got all kinds of security all around it. Just like you said when you drove up to that one building and had all the security guards around it and everything like that. The same way. The mom and pop stores are being shut out and the military is moving into them. It's by design. This is the plan because we can see what's going down over there in Shenzhen and all those places that we're seeing from those Twitter feeds coming out of China where they got all those little camps.
Yeah.
It's a few years away, but it's on the way. And there's certain companies that are going to be set up to profit and to stay in business for the long term for the people's consumption. But the mom and pops, the independents, all that's got to go.
Yeah. Because, like, look at this shit here. I think you can see it now. Like, look at this shit right here, y'all. This is a gas station in North Philly. He hired a security guard. I got that. Look at that. You see that gun right there?
Right.
Looks real familiar, huh?
Yeah, you got it on the
right there.
On the wall, right?
Yeah, got that right there. That's I got that same exact gun. Anyway, but they hired a security company to protect the gas station because the owner said, "Yo, I'm tired of all this shit happening at my gas station, and the police ain't doing shit about it." So he hired a security company to come out there, and they came out that bitch ready to rock and roll, yo. They came out there with the big shit, all right? They came out there with some big shit. So you got, look at this. Got my man with the bullpup 12 gauge shotgun right there. You know what I mean? Got the bullpup 12 gauge shotgun. I don't like that optic. That's some rinky dink ass optic. That's a fucking Bushnell. Ugh. I got a Bushnell on mine. I put the Bushnell on my little 22 back there. That's because that's a little plinker. Anyway, you know, I ain't gonna critique him with his setup. I ain't gonna critique him with his setup. But he got the bullpup 12 gauge shotgun. Right? Then you got
Looks like he got the trigger discipline.
Yeah, you got the trigger discipline. Then you got my man right here. Not him, but whatever. Let's see. That's all you got is the 12. They some rinky dink motherfucker. Look. So he got his Glock with his drop leg holster, and he got his 9mm AR. And then you got the other dude with the bullpup. But regardless, this gas station said, "Yo, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of all this bullshit happening." Cause you know what happens when you got a place that's just, it's got the stigma of like it's dangerous. People don't patronize your spot no more. Right? It probably was hard. Like people ain't want to stop. I got places here in Baltimore where I know I ain't stopping for gas, and I be strapped because I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. If I can avoid a situation, I'll avoid the situation. But this dude said, "Yo, I'm tired of it. I'm gonna get some security here to fucking help, you know, keep the shit safe." And they brought some big boy toys out with him. So it's like, okay, come on, come try some bullshit now. You feel me? And I doubt if anything's happened up there since these dudes are sitting out there with these fucking these big ass shotguns and the 30 rounder and the 9mm AR. You know what I mean?
This is commonplace in the third world. You go to the third world places and you see this everywhere. You got 2 security guards out front armed to the T, and 2 in the back, and then 1 rotating around canvassing. Yep. And I feel safe seeing it. I don't mind if we start to harden things like this, because I'd rather have these guys out protecting me than RoboCop and the Terminator and their little Robo Dog trying to protect me, armed to the T with the robot, dealing with some androids, killer machines. Because that's what they're gonna do eventually. They're gonna find a way to outlaw this. They're gonna find a way to outlaw this, because what are we doing? Defunding the police. The police are not doing anything. Right. We got porch pirates everywhere. No one's doing anything about that. Right. We got lawless cities. You gotta watch yourself at the darn gas station. You gotta watch yourself going into Walmart. They're gonna find a way around it. Yeah. And we're gonna be all sitting here looking at the Terminator, looking like we're crazy.
Yep. So what's this going on? Let's check this out. It's from my man Ronan. Appreciate you, bruh. Breaking. By a vote of 350 to 80, including 176 Republicans, House of Representatives passed end-of-year national defense bill that includes gun control, specifically a misleading voluntary pilot program on safe storage for military members. What the fuck is that? This how they do, right? They'll put like gun control in a spending bill. All right, they'll put gun control in a fucking spending bill. All right, they'll do some shit like crack pipes for all, and crack pipes for all that have like, oh, by the way, we're gonna ban AR-15s with it.
And look at the timing of this. We focused on the Twitter files. We focused on Brittney Griner, and here they are pushing for control.
Yep, pushing for control is what they do, guys. They working at a breakneck pace, so
those visionary tactics.
The Great Reset. The Great Reset is right around the corner, and they're trying to get back on track. Only thing that's gonna stop them is if we get some of these crazies out of power, which is tough because a lot of them are in the same club, right? What they say, usually most of the time, 2 wings of the same bird.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Anyway, let's move on. So we're gonna go to the Twitter files, or lack thereof. All right, Twitter files. Right. So Barry Weiss this is her turn to grift. So Matt Taibbi had his turn to grift last week. Now we got Barry Weiss grifting. All right. By the way, before we get started, we got 24 in the building on YouTube, and we got 16 on Rumble. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Please share this stream. Please share this stream. Let people know we're live. If you're catching the replay, just leave a comment. Say hello. Let us know how we doing. Let us know what you think about the topic at hand. Are you happy that Brittney Griner's home? Do you think it was stupid for the United States, i.e. Joe Nicholslick, to trade the Merchant of Death for Brittney Griner? Let us know. Let us know. But let's get them rumbles up over on Rumble. And let's get those likes up on YouTube. I appreciate it. Please share this stream out. All right, so let's keep it moving. So, Barry Weiss, it's her time to grift. 133 likes. Look, before I start, guys, listen. Nobody's going to jail. And I said this already. Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's going to get frog marched off. Right? Nobody's going to be humiliated. It's just not happening. It's not going to happen. Like I said, the only thing that they're worried about is what you think in the court of public opinion, because what you think can affect them being reelected and stuff like that. That's it. That's it. Hunter Biden ain't going to jail. Joe Biden ain't getting impeached over this stuff. It's just not going to happen. And you can see the fingerprints all over these quote unquote Twitter files by the redacted. Right? So if some of y'all saw the stream that me and Hotep Jesus did on his channel, you know what I mean? You found out that Twitter's deputy general counsel was the former FBI general counsel, which was Jim Baker.
Yeah.
So before Matt Taibbi got his hands on the Twitter files, guess who, quote unquote, looked at these files first? Guess who hands they touched first? They touched Jim Baker's shit first. They touched Jim Baker's hands first. So the first installment of the Twitter files was super fucking sanitized. Who knows how many files? It went from, oh, we're gonna have this huge Twitter files dump to we had like 3 screenshots and like 28 tweets. Then when Matt Taibbi was supposed to drop the second Twitter thing, that's when we found out that Jim Baker was had his hand in those first files, and then Elon allegedly fired him. Now Barry Weiss is here to grift. Barry Weiss is here to grift, and I mean we basically we're seeing what we already knew, right? They're just confirming the shit that we already knew, right?
They named her Barry White, huh? White is German for white.
There you go, Barry White. So take, for example, Stanford's Dr. J, I ain't even gonna try to pronounce his last name, who argued that the Cove base would harm children. All right. Twitter secretly placed him on a trends blacklist, which prevented his tweets from trending. And then we got some screenshots showing that shit, right? She says basically the same thing that Dan Bongino, you see right here. He had a search blacklist. Charlie Kirk, he same thing. Do not amplify. You know, it's just more of the same thing. We got some screenshots and some tweets. I think she did like 30 tweets instead of 28. But like HJ said, my question is where are the actual files? I don't want to see screenshots. Right? I don't want the world to be according to Barry Weiss. I want to see this shit. I want a fucking PDF. I want an Excel spreadsheet. I want to see something where I can go through there and I can filter and I can look. You know what I mean? Whose names is on here? Who filtered? Is the word Hotep? Is that shit on the filtered list? You know what I mean? I want to see that shit. Also, from the first quote unquote dump, I want to see the emails. I want some WikiLeaks style shit. Right? We're not getting that. We getting some watered down shit. Like I said yesterday, these Twitter files is the equivalent to watching Players Club on fucking TBS. They done took all the tits and ass and all that shit out of here. They done took all the good shit out of the goddamn movie just to put it on TBS. They made it suitable for all viewers.
I saw that at the theater.
Right.
Players
Like,
Club.
and yeah, Dan. I mean, Dan, but even if you can't dump it all at once, like the topic at hand, like the emails that Matt Taibbi kind of put out there, like, let's see the emails, right? There's got to be some kind of CSV file for the blacklist.
Man, this is a lot like the QAnon drops. You're waiting for these breadcrumbs to be released one at a time.
I said that shit on HJ's channel
like
the other day.
This is like Elon Anon, you know what I'm saying?
I said that shit on HJ's channel the other day. Is that you ain't lying about that? Yeah, I said that shit. I said this shit remind me of QAnon.
Man alive.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna be waiting for what, 10 more years before we get the next piece, the I got you piece.
This shit, in my opinion, the way they dropping this shit is all a distraction. This shit is the tail wagging the dog. This is the right hand keeping you from seeing what the left hand is doing.
Yeah.
That's all this is. This is like Elon covering his ass, but at the same time not completely fucking trashing Twitter.
Because there's zero accountability, right? Where's the accountability at? Who's gonna be, you know, doing some time or paying up in a lawsuit? Where is it at?
Dan got a good point. He said, "Remember the Panama Papers." Yeah, he got a really good point. I want to see some shit that I can comb through. You feel me? Like I want to see some shit I can comb through.
I feel you on that. Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Because there's no doubt that they've been shadow banning us. I know I'm shadow banned, especially here. Yeah, especially on YouTube. I know I am. There's no fucking reason.
Come up too late.
There's no reason I shouldn't be as big as I shouldn't be bigger than I am. There's no reason for it. Anytime I go live, they barely put out my notifications. They fucking shadow. Remember I told you my son's playing Mortal Kombat. I'm playing on the channel, and they shadow banned his video of Mortal Kombat. Just him playing Mortal Kombat. Couldn't find that shit for 48 hours.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Well, remember Patrice O'Neal?
Yeah.
In that thing you were replaying, also he was saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He said there's no reason why I shouldn't be bigger, you know, than I am right now, because you see the other cats that were coming out at the time getting way more push. You said, where in the world is this push coming from? Well, you see, it's these powers to be. They pick and choose, and they're doing the same thing when they own the apparatuses, these apps, to Google, YouTube, you know, Twitter, the social media. They're gonna sit there and say, we're not shadow banning technically, but what are we doing?
Right.
What to say they're doing?
Right, they doing shit like
notification spike. Do not amplify.
Yeah.
Trying to cover the tracks.
Yeah. Like they got a verify filter or whatever the fuck that shit was called. You know, a verification filter. It's like this shit is crazy. You know what I mean?
It's like hacking. You know, they're hacking people's stuff.
Yeah. Like look, Libs of TikTok. She got all the shit on her shit. I think it's a woman.
It's just like what we have with this what's happening and now trending, right? Those are all selectively done, and that's put into place. You know, your what's happening or your what's trending is gonna be different from mine.
Yeah. Exactly. And then it's like I said, guys. They're gonna keep making these drops, right? I'm sure to be another fucking Spaces based on these drops. They're not. I mean, they're telling the people. They're telling the willfully ignorant what's actually going down. There's nothing new to us. There's nothing new to us at all. We knew this shit was going down. This is just a confirmation for us that that's what was going on. However, no changes will be made. You know what I mean? Maybe on the platform, maybe, depending on if Elon Musk is Tony Stark and not Lex Luthor. You know what I mean? Maybe the platform changes, but policy. Nah, policy ain't gonna change. People losing their jobs? Nah. Unless you vote them out of office. You know what I mean? You know. But nobody's going to jail. Nobody's getting frog march. We ain't gonna see Nickel Slick with his head hung in shame while his son goes to jail, or Nickel Slick with his head hung in shame while he's being impeached. Like, we're not gonna see that. We're not gonna see it, guys. We might see a little dog and pony show where they're acting like they're doing some shit, but nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. I'll be shocked, and if it does, then I'll be like, hey, I was wrong. They actually did it, you know, but nah, I don't think it's gonna happen. I'll tell you, bro. Anyway, let's get to this last story. Now check it, right? Apparently, and I need to do some more research on this before I, go really, really in depth. But you can go look it up. I'll push you to. Let me see. Matter of fact, we might go ahead and watch it. We might watch that shit right now.
Oh, while you're looking that up, did you hear that Rush Hour Part 4 is getting made?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they got a picture on the set, I guess, with them holding up their hands in a 4 of Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. They're back to make a new one.
Oh shit! Wonder who Chris Tucker owe for this. All right,
Shoot,
guys.
He was on that island 27 times, wasn't he, or something crazy? I don't know.
So here we go. Let's do this. Let's pause this up real quick. So, guys, check it. Apparently, there's been these mysterious deaths of these crypto billionaires happening out of nowhere, right?
Man,
there's been these mysterious deaths out of these crypto billionaires, right? Out of nowhere, and I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on, right? Now we know
they were out of the country every time, though, right?
A couple
in
of
each
them were,
case?
yeah. So I think so.
Okay.
But, I'm like, all right, they got the CBDC happening right now. That's fucking pretty odd. Then you got the Sam Bankman-Fried shit that just went down.
All right.
And now all of a sudden you got these crypto billionaires, quote unquote, kicking the bucket, out of nowhere. So let's look at this. This is from Really Graceful. Like I said, if you guys aren't, go over and subscribe to her channel. Go over and subscribe to her channel. She got some really great content. But this is where I learned of this whole situation was from her. So let's check it out.
In the world, I wanted to report on something so it wouldn't get buried. No pun intended. Basically, it's a bad time to be a cryptocurrency billionaire, and something really strange is going on. In previous videos, we covered the fall of Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX empire and whether it was an organic happenstance or a controlled demolition. And we also covered the rise of central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. But today I'm talking about the handful of crypto billionaires who have passed in the last few years, 3 of them just this month, the coverage of which has been overshadowed by the FTX story. And I want to know, are we witnessing an organic, genuine string of fatal accidents? Just a coincidence, or is it something more? And if it's something more, what does it mean? Why should anyone care? How will you be affected? We're going to move backwards on this timeline, starting at the most recent incident. It was announced this week that 53-year-old Russian billionaire Vyacheslav Tiran, the co-founder of Libertex, a cryptocurrency exchange like FTX, had passed alongside his 35-year-old pilot after Tiran's helicopter crashed near Monaco. It was reported that another unidentified passenger was supposed to join him on the flight but canceled last minute. Coverage of this story has been limited, yet very interesting to me because the Ukrainian press has alleged that Tiran was a spy. But so far, I've yet to see these claims substantiated. No citations, no proof, no nothing in these reports where they allege that Tiran was linked to the Russian SVR, Foreign Espionage Agency, and was responsible for, quote, laundering Russian funds through a system of cryptocurrency operations, end quote. But I mean, hey, it could be true. Tiran's net worth was around $20 billion. What happens to all the crypto funds in his wallet? Who has the key?
That's a good question, right? So, like, it's not like a traditional bank. Like, so if, something happened to me, my kids or my wife has access to my bank account, right? Crypto don't work like that. So he has billions of dollars tied up in crypto, right? Who gets access to that should he die? How does that work? That's a really good question. That's a really good question. Like, who did he trust somebody else with his wallet? You know what I mean? That's a good question.
Can the funds be traced post-mortem? This is a blanket question I have for all the crypto billionaires who have recently passed. On Wednesday, November 23rd, 2022, 30-year-old Tian Tian Kulinder, otherwise known as TT, co-founder of the Hong Kong-based digital asset company, the Amber Group, passed suddenly in his sleep. TT had a net worth of around $3 billion, and he previously worked at Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs before founding Amber Group. TT reportedly launched Amber Group along with a group of pals from Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. I have to wonder, what 30-year-old just dies suddenly in their sleep? On October 28, 2022, cryptocurrency millionaire 29-year-old Nikolai Mushigan drowned on a Puerto Rican beach just hours after tweeting that Mossad and the CIA were trying to murder him. Nikolai was co-founder of cryptocurrency lending platform MakerDAO and the decentralized DAI stablecoin. Nikolai's last tweet was published just a few hours before his drowning, where he was found fully clothed with his wallet on him. And his tweet suggested that the CIA and Mossad were going to blackmail him, and he hinted that the CIA was going to make it seem like his passing was by his own hand. The tweet reads, quote, CIA and Mossad and Pedo Elite are running some kind of sex trafficking entrapment blackmail ring out of Puerto Rico and the Caribbean islands. They're going to frame me with a laptop planted by my ex-girlfriend who was a spy. They will torture me to death, end quote. Since Nikolai's passing, news articles have published an anonymous source who...
They found his ass floating in Puerto Rico. Guys, they found his ass floating in Puerto Rico not long after he made that post. Not long after he made that post.
Who claimed that the crypto developer was a loner and he lived alone with his dog. And the source also stated that after Nikolai and his girlfriend broke up, he was convinced she was a spy. These 3 incidents in the last month were the ones I wanted to focus on, but they aren't the only incidents and they aren't the only fatal accidents. Billionaire banking heir to Carnegie Mellon and Drexel families of the Bank of New York Mellon and Drexel Burnham Lambert, 54-year-old Matthew Mellon passed while attending a rehab center in Mexico back in 2018. Which is notable because even though Mellon was old banking money, obviously, he made his personal fortune in cryptocurrency. The vast majority of his assets were locked up in a cryptocurrency known as XRP, which is managed by the company Ripple. And if you follow cryptocurrency news, you know that Ripple is currently tied up in a lawsuit with crooked Gary Gensler's SEC. If you remember, Gary Gensler is barely 1 degree separated from Sam Bankman-Fried. Like Mellon, 30-year-old Gerald Cotton passed in 2018 without sharing the keys to his crypto wallets worth hundreds of millions of dollars. His death prompted the Netflix documentary Trust No One. Cotton was the founder of the bankrupt cryptocurrency firm Quadriga CX, and he passed while on his honeymoon in India with his wife, having signed a will just 9 days before, fueling rumors that Cotton may still be alive and living off the embezzled funds. On his honeymoon in India, Cotton complained that his stomach was hurting. He went to the hospital and was diagnosed with traveler's diarrhea. 1 day later, he passed, and no autopsy was ever performed. Of course, the Tehran, TT, and Nikolai incidents all occurred in the same month as the FTX collapse, in which a crypto exchange, which was ran out of the Bahamas, took customers' money and invested it in unknown assets. Then an incredibly damning write-up about the company was published, only for FTX's main competitor, the CEO of Binance, well, he decided to liquidate hundreds of millions of dollars worth of FTX's utility token, and that signaled to other crypto investors to do the same. But when FTX's customers went to pull their money out of the exchange, there was no money, robbing them of billions of dollars, which made legislators call for further regulation of cryptocurrency. Just announced 2 weeks ago, the New York Federal Reserve has launched their digital dollar pilot program with the big banks, and the National Bank of Ukraine has released their draft for design options for their own CBDC. The Bank of Japan is experimenting with their own CBDC, the digital yen, in tandem with the country's mega banks. And the list goes on of all these countries announcing this in the last month, from the...
And this shit reminds me of when, like, the Dr. Sabies of the world, the holistic doctors. There was, at one point, there was a ton of holistic doctors that were
like
so-called
101 months or something like that, they claimed, right?
Yeah, they were killing a bunch of holistic doctors, which was
Allegedly.
crazy. Allegedly, a whole lot of holistic doctors was coming up missing, which is ironic because a couple years later, voila,
Here we go.
Here we go with the bass.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
it's
saying.
out.
Just saying, guys.
Because who would have been the main folks standing up,
Yeah.
and shouting from the rooftops? Nah, don't mess with the vacation packages.
The Dr. Sabies of the world, the holistic
Right.
doctors. You know what I mean? This is what this.
And there were a
reminds
lot
me
of them were healthy. Did you see the one? I guess the one gentleman was like, he was ripped and everything, like he was shredded.
Mhm.
And what was he in his 29 or something like that? I mean,
Mhm.
there was so many young, super healthy guys that vegetarian, this, that, and the third, and they all just mysteriously, and allegedly just passed away.
Yep. Also, this shit. They keep doing this. It might be longer than the Clinton body count out this bitch.
CBDC adoption in Africa to India's e-rupee. But the common denominator is that it's the Federal Reserve central bank's digital currency. Unlike what we have right now, the current privatized industry. The central banks, the Federal Reserve, will have full control of the digital dollar, able to trace every transaction. But what happens when you make the banks mad, like what we're seeing now with the banks refusing to do business with who they disagree with politically? Unlike cash or silver or gold, I can't go bury my hoard in the backyard for a rainy day. With a click of a button, my entire life savings can be deleted if my social credit score isn't high enough. The funds withheld from me and my family. Or my social credit score can be influenced by how I spend those funds that I have. Because every transaction is traced and analyzed for the fullest expression of control.
Yep.
So that's why I'm hyper fixated on this subject. That's why I keep harping on this. Because the average person will feel the ramifications of what's happening, of what's playing out on the world stage.
Yep.
And people still won't get it. We already have a one world government, a debt slave system, and it was implemented in our country by the creature at Jekyll Island in 1913. The Federal Reserve banking system. We're simply witnessing their next phase of control. But they can't operate without widespread ignorance, useful idiots, and consent. I really can only speculate about what's going on with these crypto billionaires in their untimely passing, if they really even died at all or went into hiding instead. So I turned the question over to you on Twitter. I asked, theories on why crypto billionaires are dying, being killed recently. Welcome to the Tribulation said these billionaires were used to normalize digital currency and they became successful. The World Economic Forum doesn't want any competition. Everyone needs to be ushered onto the CBDC train with no other options available. Chahuapov said, centralization. FTX was needed as the big bad boogeyman. Banks will say, your money is safe with us, and then go bust themselves. After that, central bank digital currencies will be introduced to fight the corruption, which will then be hijacked to become the new empire of money. Liberty Heretic said that the World Economic Forum and intelligence agencies want a monopoly on crypto going forward, so it can be used as global currency linked to social credit system. They can't do that with strong competition who aren't part of the agenda. And finally, Goose Girl said, remember how all those millionaires died on the Titanic right before they set up the Federal Reserve? Yeah, basically the families who would have stood in the way of the creation of the Federal Reserve just happened to be the families who went down with the Titanic. What do you know? What a coincidence. What do you think, internet friends? Is something strange going on with these crypto billionaires? I want to know your thoughts. I always enjoy reading your comments. Thank you so much for watching.
Make sure to go over and subscribe to Really Graceful. She's fucking great. And her research is top notch. But that shit's crazy, right? Like all of these crypto billionaires and millionaires and shit like that are coming up missing. Or not missing, they coming up dead. And I don't think it's gonna stop there. Right? I don't think it's gonna stop there. But that shit was something that I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention. Just keep an eye on that shit. You know what I mean? Also, we see that Sam Bankman-Fried, he's still chilling in the Bahamas. He ain't going to jail, guys. And like I said Sunday, if Sam Bankman-Fried ain't going to jail, don't expect nobody else to go to jail, y'all. Anyway, you got anything else, Jay?
Oh no, I was thinking about what Emmanuel said when what Emmanuel said. They took Dr. Sebi and gave you the Liver King.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, it's sad, but it's right on time because what we have in the health community, a lot of them aren't the people that are trying to look out for your best interest. They're the people trying to perpetrate a lie in order to con you out of your money. And you know, that's what we've got going on the same way when you look at these the government or these states they're trying to position you with these moves that they've done with FTX by design. In the same way they're trying to manipulate us emotionally with what they've done with Brittney Griner's release.
Yeah.
Calculations.
Exactly. Now, on another note, before I get out of here, guys. The Liver King ain't wrong though. Right? He might be juicing. He might be testing positive for that anabolic chicken. Right? But he not wrong though. So
about ancestral living.
About ancestral
taking
living.
Taking it back to the outside.
About taking it back to the outside, walking barefoot, getting in touch with nature, lifting heavy things from the ground. And most importantly, organ meats are superfoods. Right? And that's from personal experience.
You mess with liver?
Yeah,
like liver?
I love liver.
Liver and onions?
I eat beef heart.
Yeah.
It's delicious. It tastes like a fillet. Liver, you know, you cook it right. Some people don't like the texture of it, but I don't mind the texture of liver. I like it. I eat liver and onions, exactly. Liver and onions. Vince Gironda, one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, who actually trained like Lou Ferrigno and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Liver, he said steak and eggs, liver, and with liver pills or liver. He said eat liver, steak and eggs, or liver, right?
Reminds me of that episode. What was it? A Family Guy, where they said with those two bodybuilder cartoon characters said steak and eggs, and they kept working out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jerk says, look up Chris Hodges. Don't know how he hasn't been off exposing government for decades. I'm gonna have to check him out. Dan Glenn says carnivore baby. J.R. Bell says, whenever you want to control a group of people, you must create a serious terroristic incident. When people are afraid, they will voluntarily give up their rights. That is fucking true. Seen that shit.
Fear is the mind killer and one of the great manipulators of us.
What I say that Billy Cooper said, you control people through what? Fear and through debt. That's how that shit work.
Did you see what I put in the chat?
What you put in the chat? The Rock needs to gently ask us if we can smell what he is injecting. But like even when you see the Liver King, right? He jacked, right? You don't just put a needle in your arm and be jacked. You got to put that work in, right?
He put the work in, and then he took $15,000 a month worth of human growth hormones and TRT and an entire list. An entire grocery shopping list.
Yeah, that shit was
fucking anabolics.
That's just crazy. But again, you can't get those. You can't look like him without doing the work. You can do all of the fucking. Like, you can take all the steroids you want, but if you're not working out, if you're not lifting heavy shit, moving heavy weight, you're just gonna be a fat motherfucker on steroids, right?
Yeah, he said he worked out for what 10 to 13 years or something like that.
Yeah, it takes a long time. Like me, I can be fat or I can be in really good fucking shape. Right now I'm in between. But you can be fat or in really good fucking shape. And my genetics, the way it's set up, I can look like Liver King just naturally, right? But that's neither here nor there. When he's talking about eating liver and organ meats, if you go look up like the vitamins and the minerals in like heart and liver and shit like that, right? Kidney tastes fucking disgusting. I can't do that. When you look up that stuff, right? It's got so many A vitamins and B vitamins and C. It's got like the fucking gamut of vitamins, right? In some cases, you get more vitamins and minerals from the fucking organ meats than you would from like vegetables and fruits. It's crazy. So when it comes to that, he has a fucking point with that. Right? When I was doing keto and I was eating like the organ meats and shit like that, I never felt that strong. I don't think I was ever that strong. I don't think I was ever that fucking jacked either. Right? So like there is a method to what he's saying. Don't let it get lost in the whole the whole saga or the whole drama of his like steroid usage, right? Don't let that take away from it. So anyway, yeah, like anybody who's anybody knows that the motherfucker was taking something, right? Anybody who's anybody know he was taking something. Period. Full stop. Just like,
I think it's harder for the general public, because their understanding of it is less so than a lot of people that are familiar with the online. I would say just like there's a disconnect between, you know, an older generation, a much older generation, and modern technology. So they don't understand the efficacy or the components of the anabolics. And it's the same way when we bring up the topic of the Baseball Hall of Fame and how everyone gets bent out of shape and says, no, you can't put any of these guys in there because they could have taken steroids, could have, would have, should have, maybe did, didn't. They don't understand that. They don't understand the hard work. They don't understand the efficacy. They don't understand the ingredients or the anabolic effects of these various compounds.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you have a disconnect between the general public when they see a guy like the Liver King and they say, "Oh, that's all natural, baby. He just works out hard for that."
Nah, not looking like that.
That's a disconnect. That's a disconnect that they have. Whereas when I look at it, I would say, okay, he's obviously probably on various, androgynous compounds, ingredients.
Just like when people look at
PRT or growth hormone, which came to be the case.
Yeah, Winstrol V and all that other shit, and like, look at the Mr. Olympia stage. Everybody's taking something. Everybody, IFBB, everybody's on some shit. Everybody. I don't give a fuck who it is. They line their ass off. They just got the cycle. They just got the cycle right. They passed in that fucking piss test because they got the cycle right. Period.
Right.
Period. But like I said, everybody's focusing on him taking steroids, but everybody's missing the message, and that's eat like your ancestors. For example, right? There's a doctor. I'll show y'all real quick. Let me see. There's a doctor named Terry Walsh, right? And maybe one day we'll watch it all, but there's a doctor named Terry Walsh, right? Right here, right? She had stage 2 MS, some shit like that. She was in a gravity chair, right? She couldn't walk, she couldn't do shit. But she's like some kind of scientist or something like that, right? Okay. So what she did was she started, because she was on all the medicines and none of that shit was working, right? She was doing chemo, she doing everything, right? She can't walk, she confined to a chair. So she started looking into the hunter-gatherer diet with Eskimos, or I'm sorry, Inuit people. I apologize, goddamn. And hunter-gatherers with certain African tribes, right?
Okay.
So what she saw was that there was a lot of protein and fat with the Inuits, right? Because of the fish they were eating, right? A lot of omega-3s and shit like that. And then with like the hunter-gatherers in certain tribes in Africa, they were eating a lot of, because they don't have a whole lot. They're not catching meat all the time, so they eat a lot of veggies. So she's looking at the vegetables they was eating. So she came up with her Terry Walsh. It's called a Walsh protocol, right? So basically, it's like keto, but it's modified, right? So for every 8 ounces of protein you have or whatever, you need a certain amount of fat and like 3 or 4 cups of vegetables, right? And certain types of vegetables. Right, not specific, but like in the same family, right? She did that, and she went from being bedridden to and I think like inside of a year, she was horsebacking across the Yucatan Peninsula, simply off a diet. And she's an advocate for organ meats and shit like that. She essentially eats like Liver King minus. I don't think Liver King eats any vegetables. She does. Right?
Okay.
She just vegetables and meat. That's all she does. And she was able to reverse her MS, and the shit's stayed in remission as long as she eats like that. The minute she start eating processed foods and shit like that, she gets sick. She gets sick again. Fast forward to 2019, 2020, my dad gets an autoimmune disease, right? Called polymyositis. His muscles are failing him. His lungs are starting to break down on him. I put him on her protocol to the point where I was going grocery shopping. I'm cooking the food. I'm making. Inside of 2 months, he made a complete 180. Just off the diet alone, right? Which goes to show you are what you eat, right? So when the Liver King talking about liver and he's being, actually you can't. I can't do raw meats. You feel me? But pause. But but I'll cook my beef heart, right, and my liver and steaks and shit like that. But when he's talking about those things are healthy for you. Those things are healthy for you, contrary to popular belief. If you look at the food pyramid,
That's what I was gonna say.
The food pyramid needs to be upside down. The food pyramid needs to be made upside down. That food pyramid is what's killing us, especially the black community.
That food pyramid has set us back a long while. When did that come out? In the late 70s?
I think the late 70s, early 80s. They tell you don't eat sugar, but then they say eat all these fucking pastas. But I got a news flash for you.
Processed breads.
Yeah, all that shit turns to sugar in your body. Carbohydrates turn to sugar in the body. Your body can't break down sugar, so all it can do is store it as fat until you burn it off as energy. Right? So when
the insulin spikes, right?
Yeah, you get an insulin spike. And the thing is, people are like, oh, I got these low-fat chips. I'm like, that's an oxymoron because chips are carbohydrate. The minute you put that in your body has to turn that carbohydrate into sugar. And then it has to store it as fat. So, like I said, everybody's focusing on his steroid usage and shit like that, which, the motherfucker's on steroids. I don't know who didn't think he was, but yeah, he is. But, like I said, check her out. Her name is Dr. Terry Walls. If you type in minding your mitochondria, just check it out. It's a quick listen. It's really interesting. Her story is interesting because, like I said, she was dying and now she's fucking still. I subscribe to her Instagram. She always got her recipes and shit up there on what she's eating. To the point where Montel Williams, who we were just talking about, who was up there banging Kamala Harris, he got MS as well, and he eats her protocol. And
that's what's up.
That's why his MS has been in remission.
Right.
Because of eating like her.
I was just gonna notice with that, the diet is so important also to mental health, right? Man, when you see that the crime statistics in countries where their diet is really high in the things that are better for us, the proteins, the vegetables, the going out, you see a lot less suicides, self-harm. You see a lot less mental illness, and you see a lot of longevity. A lot of people living to be 100 in those cases. Mediterranean diet is similar to that. The carnivore, basically, along with the various proteins and other things that we're talking about here, have been a benefit to a lot of people when they switched it up and they got off of all the the Crisco and the butters, the trans fats, the extra added cholesterols. And these are things that are hard to keep a constant check on when we're eating so much processed food. It's basically like we're putting garbage into our body all the time.
And that's the funny thing, right? So like with butter,
right?
Butter is actually like I started using a lot of butter and my fucking cholesterol dropped. Right. The funny part is you got to use real fucking butter. See, people think like Country Crock and all these other butters. They're not butter. Butter only got 3 fucking ingredients in it, right? Like it's fucking milk. Was it milk, salt, and something else, right? It's all butter is. It's 3 ingredients. When you look at Country Crock or some other bullshit, that shit got a bunch of words you can't pronounce in it, right?
Homogenized oils, I think it's one off the bat.
If it's got more than 3 fucking ingredients, that ain't butter. I had butter catch fire in a pan. I was like, I threw the whole pack away. That's what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, like actual butter is good for you. You know what I mean? Like, and like I said, thank you, Cream. Thanks, Sauce the Prophet. But yeah, Crisco and all that shit. This shit is terrible for you. You know
Man.
what I mean? But yeah, it's just, you know, you are what you eat, people. You are what you eat. And like I said, and that's from me. Like, I did trial and error on myself. All right, I did keto. Keto actually does work. It is sustainable. Right. Just like any other diet, if you come off your diet and start eating like shit, you're gonna gain weight. That's what happens, right? No matter what diet you're on. The food pyramid, if you look at it, that shit needs to be upside down. Carbohydrates should not be the base of your fucking diet, especially when you're sedentary, especially when you don't do anything, you don't do no walking, you don't work out, you don't have an active lifestyle. You damn sure don't be eating a bunch of fucking bread, right? But, you know, I don't know what we got on that tangent. I think like when you brought the liver
good
thing,
though. It's been an epic.
Yeah, so anyway, like if you went to my Canon, if you went to Instagram.com and you went to Canon Project, you can see like if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can see my journey, like my 12-week journey. I went from like 330 pounds to like 275 pounds of muscle in like 12 weeks, right? Just eating keto and working out an hour a day. So, but anyway, you got anything else, Jay?
Nah, man, we had a epic fire conversation as usual. It's been a great time.
Yep. If you're new, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon to let you know when I got new content coming out. Please share this stream. Let people know we were live. If you're catching a replay, leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about the topics at hand. Real quick, over on Rumble, my man Handy Bob been holding it down on Rumble the whole time. I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody watching over on Rumble. Handy Bob says I never get notifications from YouTube. Rumble notifies me as soon as you post. I know, right? Shooty Boo. I don't know what the fuck it is. Brittney is a man. Jesus. Even JP said it on a Hannity clip tonight. Referred to it as a him. Damn. Handy Bob says margarine is 2 ingredients away from plastic. Thank you, margarines. That's what it's called, margarines. Yeah, they're 2. He's right. So, anyway. All right, guys. We appreciate you. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Hope everybody has a great Friday. For Jay Pylon, this is Canon Hotep saying stay safe, stay well, stay strapped. Welcome home, Brittney. Welcome home. And well played, Joe Nickel Slick. Well played. We'll holler at you guys.
Later.
Relax and take notes.